Oleksandr Usyk retained his IBF, WBA and WBO heavyweight titles, the 9th round stoppage of Daniel Dubois, who joins us in the studio after getting back from Poland this weekend. Don Charles, his head coach, is with us too. So is George Fox, part of his team. Simon and I still here till 1 o'clock, and Spence Oliver is here too.
How we doing? You good?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, good. Are we moving on now? We're talking about this situation with the stoppage at the end of the fight, round 9. I want to talk to you a little bit about that, Daniel. There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of people saying online and whatnot that they felt that you could have continued in the fight. And some people even saying as strong words like you'd quit in that fight. Wanted to clear this up as well now. Where was you at on that? At the moment of the stoppage, can you explain, when you went down, why you listened to the count of 10 and didn't come up again?
Oh, what do you mean?
Did you have any fight left in you, or was you at that stage where you just thrown everything at it and just run out of gas?
I think the momentum was lost after that. The little thing with the knockdown with Usyk and all of that, and do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are questioning him. Well, you was looked down, looking at the ref, so you knew that was going on. I looked at my corner.
7, 8, 9, 10. You looked at your corner.
Yeah.
Did your corners just say, "Don't worry, you're done," or what? Or was it a decision you made yourself?
It was I looked at my corner. I checked what they were saying, and they said, wait, and then up, and I got up.
Oh, you missed time. Was it that you missed
got
time?
Up at 9, didn't he?
He got up, and the referee deemed that we needed an excuse to wave the fight off.
So what I'm asking is, was you willing to continue at that point? I think that's what I'm saying, because that's the grey area I wanted to clear up.
What do you think to that, Don?
Because a lot of people were saying that you missed.
I didn't quit.
You missed the count on purpose. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, my reaction to it again, and I'm going to steer myself into sharky waters here, was that I felt that there was an acceptance from Daniel. That he was, whether it's a combination of events, the combination of the demoralisation of Usyk beginning to get on top in this fight, albeit the 2 rounds earlier, I think Daniel had his best round besides the knockdown in the 5th round. And I felt, and I was watching the television screaming at him to get up. And I thought that he would get up. And I don't understand, looking at it, obviously I'm not a fighter, and I'm not on the receiving end of this. It's really bloody easy for me to sit here saying the things to a fighter that I will never have to experience. But sometimes I suspect, in order to win world titles, to be in a position, you've got to dig deep. You've got to really bite down. So now, moving on to that, if he's up on 9, we're now talking about a referee waving it off on the basis of what? You've told your fighter to get up. Your fighter's got up.
Right. We've not.
So you've got to be equally as fed up with that as well.
We've not complained about the stoppage. The referee makes that decision. I'm not taking that away from the referee making that particular decision. He has to look after the fighter first and foremost. Yeah, he's closest to the fighter. Yeah, he can see into their eyes. Right.
But you're in tune with him as well, aren't you?
I tell you what, it's about the timing of getting up as well. Now, if you get up on 7, the referee more likely will let you go if he looks at your eyes. I think it was because of the late decision on rising.
Like Daniel said a second or so ago, Daniel was always, he was looking at the corner, so he was with it.
Right.
He was looking at me. I made a sign to say, stay down, stay on your knees, take as long as
take your time. Yeah.
And there was a point I said, he got up at the point I told him to get up.
Yeah.
As soon as he got up, the referee waved it off. Again, I'm not here to challenge that the referee's decision at that point. No. Okay? I won't take that away from the referee.
But it's the wrong decision by your own
It may
logic.
be the wrong decision, but he's the closest to the fighter. He could see their eyes. I can't see his pupils from where I'm standing.
Yeah.
I could see his
Daniel, you know the answer to that.
But the fighter got up. Under instructions, he got up at the point he was
ready to continue.
He was ready to continue.
I'm sorry to interject in this as part of the team as well. Like, as a fighter as well, you're taught a lot of the times when you're hurt to start rising around the count 8. That's usually there and thereabouts. The time.
A referee will know that as well. But a referee will know that as well.
A lot of the US refereed fights, they let you get up even at that 9 count. They do that. Does happen if you watch.
But you're in danger.
You're in danger. You're in danger. I think as a team, a lot of these things, like we're not the enemy of progress. We're here to strive to be the best and to improve. These kind of things we go away as a team, discuss. My father and Daniel will discuss. Maybe in future get up a second earlier, half a second earlier, whatever it may be. Then maybe those adjustments will be made, and we acknowledge that as a team. So, like we said, we're here to progress.
No, I think we're.
However, I think sorry.
Go on, George.
With what was just said there in terms of getting up, the referee just made another decision that was like a partisan decision. Like it was just another example, display of the previous refereeing of the fight. And you can even notice, coming back to the body punches, you see him every time a clean body shot was landed. Even after that, the referee's body language was all. It's very protective. He was looking.
You think he was looking for it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that even the stoppage of the fight is indicative of the same behaviour that preceded it.
Okay, Frank Warren, who is Dubois' boxing promoter, joins us on the line now to join in the conversation as well. Frank, good afternoon to you. Thanks for coming on. Has the anger subsided from you, and where are you with your appeal? And what's the current ongoing process?
Well, as from the date of decision, you have 10 days to put an appeal in. At the moment, we're working on that along with a lawyer, because that's the way we have to do it. And we will lodge the appeal. We've got a stack of evidence that we feel supports our claim. And hopefully we will, at the worst case, get a rematch from this.
You said straight after the fight, and when you spoke to us this week, that you wanted the result of the fight to be judged as a no contest. Is that your primary objective?
Look, that's what we're asking for, because it shouldn't be a no contest. You can't. Daniel had to go and win that fight twice. That's basically what happened, and it was a terrible, terrible thing that the referee, what he did there. And I like Pabon. He's a decent referee, but he got it dreadfully wrong. And he was the referee also in the Joshua's second fight. If you remember, there was a bit of a thing about a low blow there. It was a situation. But the rules are quite simple. Rule 30 of the WBA says a protector, belt and cup shall be required for boxers participating in sanctioned fights. The protector shall not exceed the navel, I'm using their words here, this is not my own, shall not exceed the navel or the superior anterior iliac spine. The trunk should go 1 inch over the protector. Boxers shall have the trunks and protector available at the weigh-in ceremony so that the supervisor or referee may approve or disapprove them. Before the beginning of the fight, the referee will verify that both contenders use their protectors below the navel. So that's not your shorts below the navel, that's your protector, that's underneath. So that's where it's most boxers wear, including Daniel, by the way, because you can't see his navel, both boxers wear their shorts high. Lots of boxers do that for various reasons. You notice in that fight there's a couple of occasions where he goes back to the corner, Usyk, and when he sits in the corner they pull his shorts out to basically give him a bit of respite. That's a normal thing. As he gets up, they pull the shorts right up again. They pull his shorts right up. So they're quite high. That punch was 100% on the waistband of the shorts, which were well above his navel. The referee's job is also to, before the fight, to give both boxers, to tell the boxers this. And he didn't do that. We got film of the footage in Daniel's dressing room where Don Esther has to ask him about it and makes a point about him with his high shorts, with Usyk wearing his shorts high. And that's all that's all he did. So he did not give the correct instructions. He obviously allowed this fight to go on. And even when he went down and he indicated as a low blow, he just arbitrarily gave him 3 minutes and 46 seconds to recover. That's a round and nearly a third to get up. Usyk said himself in an interview, I think it was yesterday, if the referee had started accounting, he would have got up. He didn't get hit in the balls. He got hit on the waistline and it was above his navel. And I don't blame him for, if a referee's giving you this leeway, I don't blame Usyk for doing it, but the referee shouldn't have done that. It was wrong what he did.
It is worth pointing out, isn't it, for those people who don't follow boxing on a regular basis, the reason that they give you this 5 minutes is because if you do get hit in the balls, it does take you 5 minutes to recover.
It takes you longer than 5 minutes to recover. But this is the argument we're having. I spoke to Frank about this off as well. I said, listen, as an ex-fighter, I know when, with that waistband and where that shot goes in, I know it is above the belly button or at worst on the belly button. So the shot, talking about low blows here, and this is where the confusion is, and I'm surprised by a few of the ex-fighters' comments on talking about this, saying how much that takes out of you when you get hit in the balls. He didn't get hit in the balls. Let's make this clear. It was well above the waistband. Usyk wears that notoriously high anyway.
Yeah.
And the shot that went in was, they call it the solar plexus, and it's a totally legal shot. But the argument here is about whether it was on the waistband or below it, etc., etc. It was on the waistband, which was high. That's where I'm at with it. I was there. I see it. It was right above me. It was not a low blow. That is a fact.
If you go on to Jared Anderson's fault.
Yeah, we've spoken about it, Frank. Yeah.
In the state, I didn't hear that. Yeah. 15 times he got hit on the waistband. You look at it, 15 times.
But that's what I was going to ask you, Frank, because I looked and I've also listened to Joe Cortez talk about his evaluation of the circumstances, and all of them coming out in the same space. Yeah. But have you got precedent for a subjective refereeing decision to be overturned? Because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about subjectivity, because you've got one referee that allows Jared Anderson to wail away on Rudenko's waistline without a single murmuring towards it, and you've got another referee in front of a home crowd, 43,000 Ukrainians, supporting Usyk, and a referee making a decision. So what is the basis for precedent in this? Is there anything vaguely resembling that you guys can leverage into this equation?
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of it. I mean, there have been a few times where fights have been ordered, a rematch has been ordered, and I would think that's got to be the worst case scenario. But I just feel it. I think if what we'll probably come away with, and I hope we come away, is a rematch. Will they overturn it? It's a bit like overturning a penalty. It's going to be a hard thing. But morally, they should do that, because it was a genuine punch.
If you don't get the rematch, what next for Daniel?
Well, if we don't get the rematch, then he's 25 years of age, and he's got to do a couple of things. He's going to have to grit his teeth, and he's there, I know, and I'm telling him, and you. Well, I'll tell him when I see him next week, when we sit down next week. Grit his teeth and get himself back in there. And he's got to grit his teeth harder, because there's a lot of people out there saying things about him. Mm-hmm. Some of it, certainly some of it in the past, is outrageous. Yeah. And he's got to go out and show him what he's made of. Because if he wants to win a world title, which he can more than capable of doing, that's the only way you win it. It's about that. And, we have our ups and downs in sport. What happened was atrocious, in my opinion, on Saturday. He won that fight. He should be sitting there with the belts. That's what it's about. You shouldn't have to go and win a fight twice. You should not have to do that.